Okay, like I said, in this video we're going to go over the G run, a few of them, for my buddy Joe here and you guys too. We just got done discussing hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides, especially for bluegrass. And like I said, this is going to be kind of like a basic beginner bluegrass G runs and licks and things like that. And the first one I'm going to go over the easiest one probably that I can think of. I don't know if it's I've heard so many G runs and I've made some on my own that I can't remember which one Lester's Flat is and which one, you know, Earl Scruggs is, or any of the other guitar players. I just know what sounds good. And so we're just going to go over some of these. Say you're in G. And that note is a lot of people do it like that. It's kind of like a G run. Now I don't have dot markers on here, I know, but I'm going to try to break this down for you. We have the 2nd fret we're using. We're using the A string, which is the 5th string, the 4th string, and the 3rd string. A, D, G. Okay. G we're not pressing down, it's just an open note. It's the last note. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 hammer-ons. Hammer on the A to the 2nd fret. Do the same thing with the D to the 2nd fret. And then the open string. Open G. Now remember to get that hammer on pretty loud. You don't want it to be, you want it to be pretty loud. I mean, you don't have to clamp it down and force it and everything. Another thing I want to go over real quick is, you probably noticed me and a lot of other players doing this. It just sounds really good. It's got that drive to it. Is this little, it's another hammer-on, but it's going to go from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret and landing on that G note. And that just mixes it up without having to make it sound like this all the time. Like if we do it every other time we do that little hammer on, here's what it sounds like. And that's a good little trick there too. Just all you do is you're just making your G. However you do it, like this, you're going to bring your first finger up and then quickly move it back down. That way you can be in the G shape. Or some people play their G without that finger down, and what they do is they mute that string with this finger or whichever finger they're using to fret that G note up here. So you can't hear it. It's muted by this finger, the very underside of it. Okay, so back to the G run. The first one was, now we're going to spice it up a little bit by doing it the way that I did it the first time. Same thing, except this time instead of just landing and then hitting the G string, we're going to hammer on the pull off. And remember, when you hit it, you're going to kind of come down and pull it and flick it. I tend to pick that, but what we're going for is, and for now the picking, you don't need to worry about it, because when I found that with my students, when I try to describe how to pick and how to play, their eyes get crossed, okay, because they're focused on this side and they're focused on that side, and their left and right brains is going out of whack. So right now, focus on the fretboard. Don't worry about the picking. Even if you do all downstrokes, it's fine. You can deal with picking later. You want to get this movement down. That's all downstrokes. Okay. Now on to more advanced G runs. It's still basic, but this is more advanced G runs. We're going to go over the one that I mentioned earlier, I think in the previous video. You can do this one of two ways. You can either slide, and what you would do is, again, it depends on how you shape your G. If I've got this hand, this G shape with a pinky down here, then I'm going to use this finger. But if I'm going to slide that note, I'm going to use the middle finger because it's going to slide me to where that middle finger needs to be. Okay? If I'm using this shape or this shape, I'm going to use the first finger because it's going to be in position then when I get there. Just depends on how you want to do it and however finger you feel comfortable with. Okay, so this G run's going to sound like this. Actually, it's going to sound... You're going to hammer on, slide, hammer on, pull off. One pick stroke, 3 notes. 1, 2, 3. So you got open, 1st fret, 2nd fret. You're going to hammer on the 1st fret, slide to the 2nd fret. And then open, hammer on 2nd fret, pull off, open G. And that was on the D string. Remember, we're using A, D, and G. Those 3 strings is all you need. So you got less movement, less pick strokes, and you got more little tricks like the hammer-ons, pull-offs, and the slide. The next one is going to be the one that I use. Actually, it's not. We're going to go one more before the one that I use. We're going to do the same thing. So we're doing the same thing. It sounds the same just about as this one. But this time, instead of sliding, we're going to use our 1st finger hammering on the 2nd finger. So open, 1st, 2nd again. Same thing as the last time, except instead of using 1 finger and then sliding, we're going to use 2 fingers. Okay? And it's kind of a weird feeling because you're having to reach back with this 1st finger, and then you're where it meets the neck here, it kind of feels like it's, you know, not reaching all the way around, but you just have to get used to it. So it's going to be hammer on, another hammer on. Same thing. The last, it's going to end the same way as this one. Open, hammer on, pull off, G. Okay. Now the next one is going to be the one that I use. I just like the forcefulness of it. It has enough pick strokes, and at the same time it's subtle enough to where it doesn't have every note picked, so that it sounds very fluid. Okay. Now this one's going to have five pick strokes. Okay, you've got 2 pick strokes on the A string, 2 pick strokes on the D string, and then of course the root note, the G note that's open. Here's how it's going to sound. Once again, you don't have to worry about the pick strokes, but the correct way to do it, if you want to do it all down strokes, that's fine. The correct way to do it is this way. Watch my hand. Down, up, hammer on, up, down, G, D string, then down stroke on the G. So it's down, up, hammer on, up, down, pull off, down on G. But you can do it all down strokes too. But it's too quick. 2 quick downstrokes if you do it that way. Like I said, focus on this first. Don't worry about your picking hand. So that's like all 6 of them or 5 of them, how many ever it was. Okay, it's just the one I prefer. We'll do it again slow. So instead of hammering onto this, we're going to pick it. Then hammer on. It's the same shape, it's just there's more pick strokes. And then instead of hammering on, we're going to pick that note. Then pull it off. Okay. Kind of like builds up the anticipation until you get to that G note. That's why I like those extra pick strokes. Now the very last one is, I forgot who I heard did it, but the very last one is if you pick every single note. We're going to start with a downstroke. Watch my hand. Start with a downstroke, alternate pick all the way through. The very last stroke is a downstroke on the G string. If you did that all downstrokes, it would be hard. You wouldn't have time. So you want to practice that. That's a good way to practice your up and down. So you got some G licks there, some main basic G licks. The next video I'm going to go over some more G licks, but some that are kind of invented, kind of branching out from the standard Lester flat style. So stay tuned for that, and please subscribe and tell your friends about me. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching.